This is honestly the brightest colored shirt ever. I'm like a highlighter. So today I am going to be going through my August TBR to be read list. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very ambitious list for me. Yeah, I just kind of have a lot of new books that I've gotten lately and I want to read them all. So I have some books that are audiobooks, physical books, and then I even have one where I'll be listening to the audiobook and reading the book simultaneously. But without further ado, let's just get right into this list. The first book that I have on my list is Aphrodite Made Me Do It by Trista Mateer. This should be a relatively quick book. This is a poetry book and there's also pictures in it. I got this because another booktuber had recommended it to me and it just seemed really interesting. It uses Aphrodite, the Greek goddess, or Greek goddess, to kind of weave throughout different stories and different poems about love and about healing. And I just thought it was a really pretty cover and it would be interesting to read. So this is number one. The next one on my list is Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is a book that I have not heard a bad thing about. I feel like everyone has been raving about this as of late. This is the second book in a trilogy, I believe, and I haven't read the first one, but I heard that you can read them separately and they are standalone novels just as they are part of a set. This is about Dani Brown and friends with benefits, fake relationship kind of deal going on with this brooding, hot bodyguard. I think something happens where she wants to have a friends with benefits relationship with this guy, something about the internet, and now everyone's shipping them. So they start a fake relationship, romance ensues, and that's about all I know. I'm very excited. I've heard, nothing but good things about this, and I'm can't wait. I can't wait. So the next book on my list is definitely the most daunting for me. It's the thickest, but again, it is something that I've been hearing all throughout BookTube. Everyone's been having rave reviews about it, and that is A Song of Wraths and Ruin by Roseanne Brown. This is a dual perspective novel, I believe, about two characters, Karina and Malik, and they are just on a collision course for each other. They both strike up deals with kind of the spirit world. Malik is trying to get his sister back after she was abducted by a vengeful spirit, and Karina is a princess and she is trying to resurrect her mother. And there's a competition, there's some romance involved. It just seems like it's a really interesting story. I'll read a little snippet just so you guys get a better understanding. When Malik rigs his way into the contest, he and Karina are set on a heart-pounding course to destroy each other. But as attraction flares between them and ancient evils stir, will they be able to see their task to the death? If that's not a hook, I don't know what is. I'm really excited to read this, but yeah, again, it's pretty thick by my standards. I think it's around 500 pages. But again, really excited. Look at how beautiful that cover is. Oh my gosh, so exciting. The next book that I am reading is Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. This is a romantic historical fiction novel. This is about Annabelle, who is a young woman who's one of the first enrolled in Oxford University. She is working with the women's suffrage movement, and her task is to recruit a powerful man who is the Duke of Montgomery. There's romance, there's passion, all the things, and it just sounded really cute and exciting. It's part of the A League of Extraordinary Women novel. I don't know too much about that series, but I know that there are multiple books within it. The next book that I have is another romance novel that I've heard nothing but great things about. It is Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is about two authors who who write polar opposite genre types of books. And they are both in beach houses, kind of struggling with writer's block. And what they decide to do is swap genres and try their hand at writing the other author's types of books. There is romance, there is beach houses, and I just thought this would be a fun, quick read to do. The next book that I have was recommended to me by a friend, so I don't know too much about it, but she was raving about it, so I decided to get it. It is Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi. This is a historical fiction novel that follows centuries and generational stories of two half-sisters. One will live comfortably in a castle in Ghana, and the other will actually go into the slave trade and be shipped off to America. And it follows both of their families, their kids and their grandchildren, and that's kind of all that I know about it. I think it is such a beautiful dust jacket. It's so pretty. But yeah, my friend had nothing but great things to say about it, so I'm really excited to read this. I also know that Libby, the app, has an audiobook of this as well. So I'm undecided if I want to listen to it as an audiobook and read it at the same time. But stay tuned. I might try to do a reading vlog for this, so I will let you know then. The next book I have is one that I'll have the audiobook for, and I will be listening to it as I read along physically. It is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This was on Reese's Book Club picks. I think it's kind of like a whodunit, takes place in Ireland, and the premise surrounds a wedding, someone dies, twists and turns, and trying to figure out whodunit is the whole story. I'm really excited about this. The audiobook has a bunch of different narrators, and it sounded really cool when I listened to the sample, so I'm really excited to read and listen to it together. That is it for my physical books. I have 2 audiobooks, one that I actually already started, so hopefully I can still include this in my August TBR list, but that is Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. I've heard that this is one of the best audiobooks to listen to ever. This is a story about his growing up, born a crime during the apartheid in South Africa. From what I've gathered so far, I'm only on chapter 3, but it's just kind of the story of him growing up, his mother, his father, his family, and I'm really loving it. I've already, chuckled a little bit, been shocked, taken aback. Also, his voice is, wow, it's a beautiful voice. So it's just been a joy to read so far, and I'm really excited to get further into it. The next book that I have as an audiobook is Bossypants by Tina Fey. This is another one that I found for free off of Libby. Tina Fey is an actress, comedian. She worked on Saturday Night Live, and this is her autobiography. I really love memoirs or autobiographies written and then narrated by their author. So I'm really excited. She's very funny. I think that I've heard that her writing style is very funny as well. So I'm really excited to get into that book. That is all that I have. That is my very ambitious reading list. I don't know why I've done this to myself. Just for context, I am the type of girl, I don't like reading more than one book at a time. But recently I have been dabbling. But recently I have been dabbling in, reading one book physically and then listening to an audiobook and kind of trying out and fine-tuning what I like. So I'm really liking this idea of listening to an audiobook and and reading a physical book as well. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do. But the fact that I just have so many physical books that I'm trying to get through is, we'll see. Oh my gosh. But you can follow along with me on my Instagram. Whenever I start a new book, I will post on my story, and I will try to put updates as well. Again, I'm going to try and do a reading vlog for some of these, so you can stay tuned and be on the lookout for that. I'm linking all of these books down below. I've also created a bookshop.org shop of all my August TBR list books. So if you want to read along with me, that would be great. I think that would be so much fun. We could buddy read. Why not? And that's all I have. Thank you for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave a comment with any books that you would recommend for me, if you read any of these books and what your thoughts were. And I will, let me set these books down, and I will see you in the next one.